Hi. So we haven't done much this morning. We went for a nice walk with Amelia when the weather was supposed to be terrible, but it never got to being terrible. And now we've come out to Garson's. I never saw their massive advent calendar. It's this huge little wall of lights. Very good. We've just been in the farm shop because we fancied coming out and buying some nice things, and it's just nice to get out and see something else. For once, that's what we've done. And there's now a sunset developing.
Welcome to another episode of Toby Stupid Vlog.
So it's a light blizzard. We were hoping for proper snow, but we just have a light blizzard. She's perfectly pleased with herself though. She just loves running around Kew. Like, it's constant. You think you're going to go for a nice relaxing walk where you get to push the buggy. But that doesn't happen, because as soon as you get into the gardens, you get somebody going and waving their arms about, who isn't happy until they get to run around like a lunatic. So, I mean, it's great. She gets plenty of exercise, but it's not the most. It's not the most relaxing, and the pace is not particularly linear. So it's sort of stop and go. So. Finally had another snow day. It was supposed to be yesterday, but there was snow in the air, just never on the ground, and I think overnight eventually it started settling. I don't think it's going to get much more than this, to be honest, but it looks nice. We went out for a walk in Kew yesterday and Amelia was not pleased. Well, she loved the walk, but by the time we came home she was very cold and very, very sad. So we're going to keep the walk a bit shorter today because it's equally chilly. Hiya, happy Tuesday. So it's kind of been snowing in some sense solidly for about 36 hours, and you'll notice not much of it settled because it's just barely 0 degrees most of the time, so it settles overnight and then it warms up a little bit. Some of the snow melts, but also it's hardly a blizzard. And so it's sort of a light dusting, as it has been for the last couple of days, but it is consistently cold and the wind is icy, and it's as cold as I've felt walking in this country for a very long time, because it never has warmed up much above 2 degrees, so there's no residual heat anywhere. But, and this is the important thing, Thursday morning when Crystal rather goes to drop Amelia off at nursery, it is forecast to be -9 degrees. Now, for London, that is ridiculous, and that never happens. Out in countryside, it's not so unusual, but -9 in London, that is not going to be pleasant. But I thought I'd come for a walk, because you can't just sit inside a nice cosy warm flat all day. That is not constructive. So I'm going to go and buy food instead. So going for a walk on your own in the woods can be so deafeningly silent that it's quite amazing. And it's so wonderful. And it reminds me, when I used to live in Bristol and I'd spent too much time watching The Wire, I decided I needed to buy myself a burner phone. Don't laugh. And so basically I got a pay-as-you-go T-Mobile SIM, and I didn't tell anyone the phone number. And what I used to do is on my day off, which was Monday, my weekends were Sunday, Monday, I used to go for a walk on Monday, somewhere usually a long way from home, deep into Gloucestershire, and I'd take my regular SIM out of my phone and leave it at home. I'd put this other SIM in, so that meant I had contact with the outside world if I absolutely needed it, bus times, train tickets, etc. But no one had my phone number, and it was so freeing. You'd get no emails, no phone calls, there'd be no sounds, but you wouldn't feel isolated. It would feel like a choice, and it was wonderful. And I went for walks all over the place with that, and no one knew where I was, but I did. And it's very calming to go somewhere that's ever so quiet, so I'm going to shut up now. come out for a walk, but I've made one of my classic mistakes, and that is to try and do too many things at once. So I thought I'll drop something off at Alex's, I'll go for a walk, I'll go to Aldi, and I'll do it all after lunch, having made bread. No, that's not possible. It's not possible for a number of reasons. So, successful drop off, great. Here I am, I'm having a walk. This is Newlands Corner in the Surrey Hills, which is very beautiful. So yeah, that's good, except I forgot my shoes because I was in a rush to get up the door. Also, I can't go to Aldi because I forgot my mask as well. So this is what happens when you try and do too much. It's about planning things a bit better than I have, and I've only really got myself to blame. Still, the view's nice, isn't it? Very nice. Now the ground is the absolute worst combination of soft, so it's slippery, and also in places hard, so it's slippery. It's like the most peak slippery conditions you can imagine. So I'm going to have to manage this a bit. Now I think I can cut down past that farm and then along and then back up. So that hill there is St Martha's Hill, which has a church on the other side. We've been there before. It's very pretty, and as you can see, the light in the distance is quite stunning. That's where I was. Not the free one in front of me, and not the one with the tractor treads, the one beyond that. And it was very slippery coming down through those woods over there. But as you can see from the weather, it always pays to go out. You should always go, regardless of how terribly you organise it, regardless of whether you're in two minds. If in doubt, go out. Not quite the government advice, and you don't have to go far, but just get outside. You will feel better, I promise. Made it 1 hour. Oh, that was exhilarating. Well, despite all the warnings last night, it being like -9, -8 degrees this morning, I don't think it was, at least I don't think it was at sort of 7, 8 a.m. as it was supposed to be. But as you can see, this once lake is now an ice rink, which I've never seen in Kew before. It's never been cold enough to freeze all of this lake. So that's quite remarkable. I have come for a bit of a walk today, close to home. And there is a Egyptian duck couple here with a baby duck, which is very, very strange time of year to be born. February. Surely it's a month or two later, but here they are. Today is Thursday, and I've got quite a long Co-op Homes board meeting about risk at 2 o'clock, so not going to be a lot more filming today. And I've got to do a little catch up the last couple of weeks as well. And tomorrow, the weather's going to be like this a bit for a few days, but by next Tuesday it's going to be back to being 12 degrees. So that's a relief, because cold is a charming place to visit, but not a great place to live. So I don't have much more to report this week. Hopefully I'll get out for a bit of a walk with Amelia tomorrow, and we might see some interesting things.